Okay, in the previous class, we had studied about the painting, the military administration, the land revenue administration, what Akbar had done during his rule, right? Now, we will see the architecture, all right? Apart from that, we also came to know that he was the ruler who did not know how to read and write, but still he had maintained a library of how many books?
20,000.
20,000, clear, very good, okay? And he, along with the other subjects, he also included few other subjects. Which can you name those subjects? Which subjects he had included in the
Math, astronomy, logic,
Agriculture,
and
Yes, very good.
history,
Yes, very good. Okay.
mathematics, logic, and astronomy.
Yes, very good. Now we'll study about the architecture. Many monuments were constructed during Akbar's reign. The style of architecture progressed from Persian to a more Indian style. Please underline this. Okay. I would like to know a few names and you will tell me who are they, what duties were assigned to them, okay, in the Akbar's court, okay. First one is Behram Khan. Who was he?
he was helping to administer Akbar's reign because Akbar was too young.
And inexperienced. Very good. Okay, Todermal. We just started in the morning. Go on to the next.
The agriculture revenue system.
He brought changes, right? He brought changes. He brought some new reforms. Yes. Okay. What was the rule of Birbal?
He was a Hindu poet.
Hindi poems, okay. And which was the official language in Akbar's court earlier?
Persian, ma'am.
Later on, it included Hindi also. Fine. Okay. Humayun's tomb, for example. Now over here, if you'll see, his architecture also transformed from Persian to Indian style. So here they are giving you one example of Humayun's tomb. It shows both Persian form of architecture, which later included some Rajput traditions also. Can you see the image given in the text? Okay. Yes, the massive but graceful structures are decorated with intricate stonework. So now they are describing the architectures during his rule, all right, that portrays Hindu themes. Underline this. This is very important. The capital city of Fatehpur Sikri is one of the most important examples of this type of architecture. Okay, so which is the most important type of architecture during the rule of Akbar? It is the
Fatehpur Sikri.
Capital city. Okay, please don't forget capital city. Okay, Akbar had this red sandstone city built to thank a holy man who predicted the birth of his first son. So why did he make this particular city? Because in the name of the holy person who had predicted the birth of his son, okay, just to honor him, he had created this. Now, apart from Fatehpur Sikri, let us see the other architectures involved in during his rule. Number 2, after Fatehpur Sikri, the number 2 is buildings are Diwan-e Khas, Panch Mahal, Jodhabai's palace, and Buland Darwaza. Please underline this. Okay, so these were all the architectures which were built during the rule of Akbar. In keeping with the Rajasthani architecture, these buildings had number 1, pillars, balconies, and screens through which the ladies could see but not be seen by others. Okay, right? So these were all, you might get an objective type questions based upon this. Okay, they might ask you about a question of objective question based upon Fatehpur Sikri, or an objective questions based upon Devani Khas, Buland Darwaza. All right. Let me just admit 2 students who are still in the waiting room. Yeah. Next, other specific monument is the Akbar fort built in red sandstone. Please underline this. The Agra's fort. Fort of Agra. Now, have you heard about the Navratans of Akbar before?
Yes, ma'am.
Who has,
Yes,
what,
ma'am.
Yes.
yes. Okay, yes. What knowledge do you have about this? What do you, yes?
Ma'am, the Akbars and Nauratan were important to him, and have they just give opinions,
Right,
Advices.
advices.
right,
Yeah, ma'am.
right,
They were his
right,
ministers.
They were
right,
specialized in
right,
some field.
right,
These 9 came from different fields and gave
right.
information to Akbar.
Correct. And all these 9 were assigned different fields. Good. Do you know the names of them?
Yes,
Some.
ma'am.
Some. So let us just go through. Let us just go through the list and recall once again, isn't it? Just click on the image. So the first one was
Abul
Fazl.
Fasi.
we know,
Fazl.
yes, we know he was the one who had written the
Akbar Nama.
yes, which is called as Akbar Nama. Okay, and N.A. Akbari. Okay, not just Akbar Nama, he was the author of N.A. Akbari also. Please underline. Next, second Navratan, second about
Faizi.
he was the
Persian
Persian
poet.
and who was the Hindi poet?
Birbal.
Birbal.
Next, third,
Abdul Rahim Khanan.
Khane Khanam. Abdul Rahim, he was also called as Khane Khanam. Who was he? He was the Hindi poet and the composer of Dohas. Next, fifth one, fourth one,
Tanzin.
Tanzin. Okay, you have heard about Tanzin, I guess, before?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
No, ma'am.
And he was a singer.
Yes, and a musician also. Okay. All right. Next.
Todarmal.
Todarmal.
Very good. It was Todarmal.
Minister.
What was Todarmal's
Revenue minister.
was given the duty as a revenue minister. And your famous Akbar and Birbal tales, you must have heard.
Birbal.
Yes, ma'am. He was the most special.
He was the most
Nauratan.
intelligent and clever one.
Okay.
He was the most special advisor.
Correct.
Akbar's.
Correct. He was basically Akbar's companion, and he is very well known for his wittiness, right? Intelligence. Okay. Next.
Raja Man Singh.
Raja.
Military commander.
Ma'am, military commander.
Yes, he was assigned the duty of military commander as well as an advisor. Okay, he was also an advisor to Akbar. Next was
Fakir Aziauddin.
Fakir Aziauddin. Okay, he was mystic as well as the advisor. And Mullah scholar, and he was also known for his wittiness.
Intelligence.
Yes.
Some mystic means
Where are you? Yeah, mystic, and he is basically an advisor. He used to advise Akbar in most of the important decisions. Okay, next page. All right, so we had seen social, we had seen education, we had seen what about the social? What social changes did he bring? Who will tell me? Let's, before we discuss further.
Prohibition of
sati.
child marriage.
Yes.
Prohibition
Ma'am, widows can remarry.
Correct. Very
Consent of the groom and bride should be taken before marriage.
Yes.
Child marriage was discouraged.
Okay, in education terms, that was social. Okay, what about in education terms? What changes did he
Education terms,
Introduced
he
various
brought in
languages.
subjects like
He introduced secular subjects
mathematics,
like mathematics,
agriculture, logic,
agriculture, logic,
history,
history, and
science.
And
astronomy.
astronomy.
Yes. Now we'll see on religious front what changes and what reforms were brought up. Okay. So the highest of Akbar's reign is his religious philosophy. You remember we had discussed this even in the previous chapters.
Yes, ma'am.
What was the point? Who would tell me? Anyone? A
He
religious?
didn't discriminate between the Muslims and the
Yes.
Hindus.
Yes. And how do we come to know that?
He
He,
treated
He
He
had
made the
Hindu.
he
policy.
made a policy.
Yes, Sanaya.
his
He
agriculture,
made a policy.
He gave high posts to Hindu also.
the architectures in his reign were
Yes.
added both the styles.
Yes. No. We come to know because he had
The policy.
no tax. I'll give you a hint. Tax.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
The
Ma'am,
tax
yes.
which was implemented on Hindus, he removed that
Yes. Yes.
for
And
traveling.
yes. Tirath Yatra. Tax they used to
To
pay on
visit the
Tirath Yatra.
holy
Right.
place.
Yes. Got it. Now you all could recall.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
he followed the policy of religious tolerance and won the support and respect of his Hindu subjects also. So please underline this. That's the reason, he got massive support from his people who were under his territories. Please underline. Yeah. Now let's see what changes and what reforms were brought up by him. Number one, he was fair and just in his dealings with the subjects and held no religious prejudice. Okay. When during in his court, he never discriminated on religious basis. Okay. He was fair as well as just. Number two, he married many Rajput princes and Jodhabai being the foremost. Please underline this. This also shows that he treated all the religions equally. Next, third one, many of his trusted officers were Hindus. For example, Todarmal, Birbil, Raja Mansingh, okay? And he had given them high posts, not on the basis of the religion, but on the basis of the merits and their talents, okay? So kindly underline this. You might get a short note on this, okay, children? Yeah, underline the examples as well. What is the fourth one? The fourth one is the jizya. As I told you, remember the pilgrim tax was imposed on non-Muslims by the earlier Mughal rulers. But what did Akbar do? He abolished those taxes.
Taxes.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Have you all understood all the religious policies?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Shall we just revise before we go on to the next topic?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what was the first religious policy? Yes, Sanaya? Yes, Simran. Okay.
He was fair and just in his dealings with his subject and held no religious prejudice.
Prejudice.
He
Okay.
married a Rajput princess.
Yes.
Jodhabai being the foremost.
Yes, very good.
Many
Many
of his trusted officers were Hindus.
True,
And they
very
were
good. Such as Bhavya, such
Ma'am,
as
Todarmal, Birbil, and Raja Mansingh.
very good,
the
very
Jizya
good.
and pilgrim tax imposed on non-Muslims was abolished.
By him. Okay, and that's the reason. Because of this, what was the result? He got massive support and respect from all his Hindu subjects as well.
Hindu subjects.
At Fatehpur Sikri, Akbar built the Ibadat Khana. Please underline. What does Ibadat Khana mean? It means a prayer hall. And where it was built, Ibadat Khana, it was built at Fatehpur Sikri. Here, he held religious discussions with scholars, philosophers, priests, missionaries, and religious leaders. All explained the principles and teachings of their respective religions. Based on these discussions, he then created and formed his own religion, which is called as Deeni Ilahi. Okay, you will definitely get a question based on Deeni Ilahi. Okay, now he had built up Ibadat Khana. Okay, over there, all religious discussions would take place. Okay, there would be all scholars, priests, all the missionaries. All right, and over there, what was it teaching basically based on? It was based on respecting the religions, all religions. All right, and in that place itself, he created and formed his own religion. What was his religion?
Dine ilahi.
Dine ilahi.
Yes. Now, let's see, what does this mean? Okay, Deeni Ilahi or divine faith was based on Akbar's principle of Soe-Kul or universal peace. Okay, that means a religion where all the other religions are treated equally. Okay, none of the religion is being given undue importance and the other was considered as inferior. Okay, in the year 1582, Akbar announced that his religion would be a combination. Please underline, this is very important. His religion would be a combination of religious ideas of major religions to promote unity and sense of brotherhood. So it will be a combination of all the religions. Why? So that he could promote what? Unity and brotherhood. I can see smiles on your faces. Okay.
Hi, ma'am.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So basically, what does Deeni Ilahi mean? Who will just summarize before I go on to the next page?
Divine faith.
Yes, yes.
Combination of all the religions.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Universal
Universal what?
universal
Universal
peace.
peace.
Okay, universal peace.
Ma'am, combination of other religion to
It was
promote,
to promote
unity and sense
And
of
the sense
brotherhood.
of brotherhood.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, let's go to the next page. This religion advocated believe in one God and recognized that the emperor was God's representative on earth. Okay, not the God. He was God's representative. Unlike other religions, there was no holy books, rituals, prayers, or priests. There was no forceful conversions. Hence, the religion died with Akbar. Okay, so the Deeni Ilahi religion which he used to follow, it died along with the death of Akbar.
Ma'am, why?
Okay. After that, nobody followed. That was his ways, right? He was the one who treated all the
He
religions.
ruled, na ma'am?
Right.
That's why.
Yes,
Correct.
ma'am.
Clear? Now, Rajput policies. The Rajput rulers were known for their bravery and courage. Please underline. However, they were disunited and divided among themselves, and Akbar adopted a policy of conciliation and conquest with the Rajputs, realizing early on the necessity of an alliance or conquest of the Rajput territories. In the year 1562, Akbar entered an alliance. This is very important. This name is very important. He had signed an agreement with the Rajput ruler. Who was the Rajput ruler? It was Raja Bharmal of Amber, that which is present day Jaipur. What was the deal? That and he even married his daughter. Can anybody tell me the name of his daughter?
Jodhavai.
Very good. Okay. And Raja, in return, acknowledged Akbar's power, and his sons were enlisted in Akbar's service, where they prospered. Okay, so now he signed an agreement that we will come together. And on one hand, Akbar married Jodha, and on the other hand, what did Raja Bharmal do? He acknowledged Akbar as his king. Right, and he gave the powers, and even his sons were in the service of Akbar's court. Clear? The same policy of friendship and alliance was extended to all the Rajput rulers. As we know, all the Rajputs were disunited and they were divided among themselves. But can you see, he is forming an alliance, a friendship relationship with most of the other rulers. Yes, just for the sake of expanding his territories.
He can just defeat that and expand his territory.
He
Yes,
believed in peace.
he believed in peace. Very good, Sanay. Next, just show me if there is a quiz. Okay. Have you all understood till here, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
we will just summarize the entire chapter. Okay. So there's a summary. This is how Akbar's son described him. So this summary is about Akbar. Who is describing
His son.
Son.
name?
Jahangir.
Also known as?
Prince
Prince
Salim.
Salim.
He was the middle height. He was of middle height and of wheat-colored complexion, but black eyes and eyebrows. His beauty was form rather than face, with broad chest and long arms. So he's describing the physical appearance of his father. On his left nostril was a fleshy mole. Okay, very okay. See, Sanaya is in pointing it out. All right, very becoming of the size of a split pea, which physiognomists understood to be an augury of a great and of wealth and glory. His voice was extremely loud, and discourse and narration, he was witty and animated. So his personality had the combinations of both, right? He was loud as well as witty. His whole air and appearance had a little of worldly being, but exhibited rather divine majesty. Okay, so this was his appearance. I hope you understood.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's go on to the next page.
It's end.
Yes. So
Yes, ma'am.
question 1. Baron Khan took charge as Akbar's dash and assumed the title of dash.
Regent and Khanam.
Khane Khanam. Okay, he was he took the charge as a regent and he was given the title of Khane Khanam. All right. I hope everybody's writing in your notebooks or
Yes, ma'am.
making a note of it. Yes. Next question. Akbar had to deal with the Afghan challenge when Dash, the successor of Sher Shah, wanted to re-establish
Adil Shah.
Adil Shah.
Adil Shah. So the second battle of Panipat, it was fought between whom? Can somebody tell me?
Himu and
Himu
Akbar.
and
Very
Akbar.
good, very good, very good. So we are trying to remember it in the form of a story, isn't it? So in between any question I'm asking, you all are answering me. So that's good, very good. That means you also have remembered it in the form of a story with the help of a flow chart. Next is third question. The general of Adil Shah called Dash had occupied Dash and Dash.
Himu had occupied
Ma'am, Himu
Ajmer
had
and
occupied
Delhi.
Delhi and Ajmer.
Okay, and after occupying, what did he do? He had declared himself
An
As
independent
Emperor.
ruler and
Very
called
good.
himself Hemchandra Vikramaditya.
Very good, very good. But then what had happened to these places after the battle of Panipat, second battle of Panipat?
Behram Khan didn't sit quietly and reoccupied these places.
True. Okay. Both Behram Khan and Akbar, okay, they had after this battle, when they won the battle and when they could defeat Temu, they again reoccupied these places. The second battle of Panipat was fought between Dash and Dash.
Himu and
Behram
Behram Khan.
Khan.
Okay. You have to write both the options. You can also write the year as well. Which year did it took place in?
1556.
1556.
Okay. Dash was the ruler of Malwa and he had received an important post in Akbar's court. Who was that?
Bahadur.
Baz
Bahadur.
Bahadur.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Next, explore Akbar's Mansabdari system. You remember today morning only we had done the list of points. What was Mansab, who was called as Mansabdar, and what things were included in the Mansabdari system. And I remember telling you, I'll just mark it important. So based on that, you have to answer the following questions. Number one, how did he ensure that a strict feudal hierarchy did not develop? That means, how did he make sure that, the Mansabdari was not hereditary, and he was the one who was responsible for appointing or for removing any of the Mansabs? Right? So you need to explain that. Bhavya, will you read it?
The ranks or offices, mansabs, were not hereditary. The death of a mansabdar would be followed with the return of the jagir to the emperor, who would in turn grant it to someone else.
True.
Mansabdars were promoted, appointed, and dismissed by the
By the
emperor
himself.
himself.
Okay, so this is important, and this is how he made sure that it did not go or in a form of a heredity. He made sure, he could remove, he could appoint on his own. Next, based upon my next question, based on Mansabdari system is, what did he do to inhibit the greed of the Mansabdars? Yes, yes, you're raising your hand.
Yes, ma'am. The Mansabdar did not administer or were not the authority over the Jagir. Only the revenue went to them. They were moved from place to place to keep them in check and curb any selfish interests.
Very good, very good. And we had seen that the same thing was done even by the previous ruler, isn't it, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Next, question 3. In what ways was the Mughal emperor personally involved in the military administration? How was the emperor himself was involved in the military administrative system? You'll need to justify.
He was the final authority of all the matters.
Yes, very
Ma'am,
good.
he was the commander in chief.
He had
Yes,
full control over all the appointments and promotions.
Ma'am,
yes,
he
very good.
established central administration.
Yes, as well as the provincial administration also, isn't it?
And ma'am, he was supreme judge also.
Yeah, true. So through all these measures, what did he make sure that he himself was also involved in the military administrative system? You depict the central administration in Akbar's court. You remember yesterday I had asked you all to draw a flowchart based on provincial administration, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, but then now you have a question for central administration. See, you already have a web diagram for the central administration. I want you to do it for provincial also in your notebooks. Okay, that will make it easier for you all to remember during your exams. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
See how it is done.
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, you could draw a flow chart for the provincial as well.
Yes, ma'am.
You all have taken the screenshot of this chart, web diagram, which
Yes,
was...
ma'am.
It's in the course book
Okay, fine.
answers.
Next questions, session 5 and 6. You need to state and explain how did Akbar contributed in the field of architecture. Now you remember I had asked you to mark or note down the points one after the other. So the first point is, what did he do?
Many
Yes.
monuments were constructed in Akbar's reign. The
Yes,
style
yes,
of architecture was from Persian and Indian style too.
yes, very good, very good.
Humayun's tomb is a good example of it.
Of that, very nice, very nice. Others can also answer, no problem. Yes, Mishti.
Later structures were inspired by Rajput architecture.
Yes, 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 very good.
The capital city of Sikri
Sikri.
is
One of the most important example of his
this type of
architecture.
architecture.
Yes. Apart from that, what else did he build? He built the red sandstone city. Yes.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
ma'am.
God who
To
predicted the
thank a
birth
holy
of
man who predicted
Yes.
his birth
The
of his
birth
son.
of his son. Very good. And what else did he, build? He built
Built
Diwani
Diwani
Khas.
Khas,
Divani
Khas,
Khas, ma'am.
Chota Bhais
Chota
Palace,
Bhais Palace,
Palace
Gulab
and
Yes.
Prasad.
Darwaza.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Okay.
ma'am,
Clear?
he used both kind of architecture, Hindu and Muslim.
Yes.
Ma'am, Persian and Hindu,
Yes.
both.
Correct. Correct. Very good. So we have completed till session 5 and session 6, right? Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
students.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Will you all do this? Write down these session 5 and session 6 question answers in your notebooks
Yes, ma'am.
for
Yes,
this
ma'am.
for the weekend, okay? And then when we meet on Monday again, we will discuss from here. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.